Hello and welcome to SEGA News Bits. I'm Barry. With me is George.
That's right. I'm here.
That's right. You're here. Do you want to talk about the SEGA Genesis?
Yeah, of course, always.
Do you want to talk about the AtGames plug-and plays?
No, I don't want to talk about that.
Oh, well, sorry. We're going to do both of that. So, ever since E3, I've been getting a lot of emails from various companies, pitching their wares at us. Usually it's stuff that does not concern us, but this one caught my eye. It's from AtGames, and you might have heard of this company. They've been releasing a lot of plug-and-play Atari and SEGA Genesis consoles for many years. You'll typically see these actually at like Target in the games aisle, tucked in the corner in like this weird area of like retro game. So they're releasing 3 pieces of hardware. One's coming out in September. Actually, I think they're all coming out in September. Yeah, so September. The first one is called the SEGA Genesis Classic Game Console, and you've probably seen this one before. It looks like you took like a can and kind of crushed it. Like you stepped on it on the side and it squished down. It's really minimal design. I hesitate to call it design. There's hardly any work put into it. It really doesn't scream SEGA Genesis outside maybe that they used black plastic and they put the Genesis logo on it. I have one of these. I actually reviewed it on my age-old website, the Nomad Junkyard, back in June 2010. I received one through a website which I will not give any credit to, through a stupid rewards program that they had. And I basically spammed the rewards program, got my free AtGames console, and called it a day. It was called the Firecore Genesis. It came with a really weird red sticker with like Chinese writing on it. and you could put the cartridge in the top or you could play the included titles. They claimed that it had the future support of wireless controllers, though it did not come with them. That was very weird. And it sucked. The audio was awful, the video didn't look very good. The only good thing is that it could play PAL games, so if you have a PAL game and your Genesis doesn't play it, you can do that, but I'm pretty sure you can play imports through either the 32X or the Game Genie.
Yeah, or you could just emulate them. Emulators are on the computer are better than the sound that this provides.
Yeah, and so that was 2010. Now we're, 7 years later. This thing still looks the same. They actually removed the wireless technology. I think they just gave up on that.
I guess it wasn't the future.
I guess not. They claim it has stereo sound, which I believe the other one did not have. And so let's just take a look at here. So it comes bundled with 2 wired controllers, plug and play on any TV. Well, any TV that can accept your standard video inputs, and stereo sound. So I think stereo is the one, I guess, good thing going for it. It includes 81 SEGA Genesis favorites. This is where I'm confused. It says it includes 81 SEGA Genesis favorites, but I'm looking at this list and I'm seeing a lot of games that are not SEGA Genesis games.
You mean some of your classic favorites isn't Hidden Agenda?
Or air hockey?
Or plumbing contests?
What about Patero spotting?
Oh, no, that's my favorite. I grew up with that one.
Have you seen a Patero?
No, I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Whack-a-Wolf? You can play that if you go in the woods in real life and just start smacking them around.
Oh, I don't want to go outside.
Oh, this is a gang I actually joined in Chicago. It's called the Hexaganos.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's pretty mean.
That's a classic.
Yeah. So as you can see, there's a Dominant Ambler. That sounds so bizarre. Dominant Ambler.
I mean,
it's like a...
We're mocking it. There are some really good games and some really weird games that I didn't think were going to be in here, like Mortal Kombat is on here, so that's weird. But they obviously inflated the list with games that are kind of not really SEGA Genesis classics.
Yeah, I mean, it does have Sonic the Hedgehog titles. Not all of them. It's lacking Sonic 3 and the original Sonic, it looks like, which is very strange omissions. It has Shining Force. It has Phantasy Star 3 and 2, I think. And then it has... Oh, I see. The list I'm looking at, they they say it includes these games and more, and so they don't repeat them on the list. So Sonic is on it, Phantasy Star 3 is on it. But yeah, here's the thing, they're like, has Virtua Fighter 2? I don't think many people know that that's the shit one.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to inflate it, trying to get the mainstream market. Their market isn't us. They're hardcore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, let them do what they have to do. But, like, I really wish that Sega would kind of think about the licensing on this, because there's going to be a generation of people that play these plug-in games thinking that the Sega Genesis sound is terrible.
Yeah, and it's just totally not true. Let's look at this next one here. So this is also releasing in September. It's called the SEGA Genesis Ultimate Portable Game Player. And the package has Pac-Man and Sonic, you know, that beloved duo.
Oh, yeah.
Here it says it includes 85 SEGA Genesis favorites, including Sonic, Pac-Panic, Shining Force, Phantasy Star 3, Mortal Kombat, and more. So it has basically the same library as the other with a few other games. It has an SD card slot and a rechargeable battery, but no cartridge slot. What do you think of this? What do you think of this?
It looks terrible. Did you see the design? Who designed this thing? This looks like nothing like Sega related ever. This looks like I don't know what it looks like. It looks like it's trying to be an iPhone, but like the guy that made it only made children's toys, and he didn't know design. Like he never went to design school. He just like made it last minute. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it definitely looks ugly. I feel like it's something... Actually, I think they're using this exact same case, but with different colors for the Atari. So it's definitely not something they're making with Sega in mind, you know?
No, they're just reusing... they're just cheaping and trying to make as much money out of the Sega licensed products as they can.
Yeah. So, this one's... I don't understand the SD card slot either, just because it's like... what about
Can
it?
Load ROMs?
I don't know if it can. Maybe they're like, it comes with an SD card slot. We're not going to tell you what else it can do. Maybe that's why they're being so coy about it.
I mean, unless you want to watch movies on there, I don't think you do.
I mean, the sound's probably terrible. Let's move on to this last one here. So this one is the one that caught my attention and is why I wanted to record this. So this is the SEGA Genesis Flashback. Now, I know that in, South America, they released... was it South America?
It was South America.
Yeah,
Brazil.
They remade the Mega Drive. And it's like, I guess it's like the same console, but I don't know how the sound is, but it's basically a remade Mega Drive with games loaded in.
We also made a video on that.
We did, yeah, and this is not it, I don't believe.
No, because this one has an HDMI cord. The other one specifically didn't have an HDMI cord, and it looked closer to the actual Sega Genesis design.
Yeah.
This one kind of looks like they took some liberties and looks smaller. Yeah,
this one's very weird. So this one is bundled with 2 wireless controllers. So there's those wireless controllers I've been looking for all those years. 720p HD output and cartridge games. Can you show? Supported.
Oh yeah, 2 O's right there.
Do you see that? Maybe they're saying we're poor.
Support.
I don't know. Supported. And they say, this is what's interesting too, it says it includes 85 Sega Genesis, SMS, and Game Gear favorites. So it looks like they're maybe replacing some titles from the other lineups with some Mega Drive and Game Gear titles. I can see Phantasy Star on here. I see Sonic Chaos, Sonic Drift 2. So there are some pretty cool ones.
Plumbing Contest still on here, so if you guys are into that, classic.
Warehouse Keeper, that's a great one. Fish Tank Live. So, I mean, the HDMI out is very interesting. The one question I have again is the sound. How good is the sound?
Yeah, and this is questions we'll never know. I know they're sending out review copies, so we'll find out soon enough whenever they, I guess, lift the embargo. We did not get a review unit, and I don't expect to get a review unit because we're bashed the thing for the last 10 minutes. Did they see this? So,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, anything else you want to add? I mean, do you know the price on these?
I don't know the price, and in looking at the product shots, like, I'm trying to figure out, does the HDMI one, does it even allow you to put controllers into it?
I don't think so. It doesn't seem to have a port for them. So here's my question for you, Barry. Would you pay more than like $50 for any of these?
No, absolutely not. I mean, first off, I have a Model 1 with, the little fancy splitters so that you can get stereo out of it, and I've got my Sega CD, I got my 32X attached, so I'm set. Would I suggest other people pick this up at that price? No, I would say you can buy a Genesis Model 1 or 2 for $50, and sure, you don't get all the games preloaded, but get a flash cart or just buy some of your favorite games, like do some retro shopping. I know the market's a little expensive now, but
Sega Genesis is not that bad, I think. I mean, at least for the console units, but I mean, I would agree with you. I think there is a dire need for some sort of like plug and play unit where you could use carts and it works the way it's supposed to work, like the regular Sega Genesis. This is obviously not it. So I would tell people to keep that in mind. If you don't mind about the sound and you can get over the bad emulation, then I guess pick it up. I mean, it's pretty cool. I guess you can play some classics on there. If not, just play them on Sega Forever. I mean, they both have emulation problems anyway.
That's true. What are your guys' thoughts on these? Have you purchased the previous AtGames consoles? Do you have any hope for this one, or do you think it's just going to be more of the same? Sound off. Like, subscribe, smash that comment button. Wait, that's not how you do it.
Send bad emails to AtGames and tell them to fix the sound, please.
Yes, please.